Welcome everybody to the X-Files review of episode 3, season 10. It's back on TV. I'm going to have a look at this latest episode, give you my views, what I think about it, whether it was good or not. And a reminder everybody that spoilers are coming up. I do look at this episode in depth, so please be warned, spoilers ahead. Let's talk about the X-Files. I hated this episode. What the hell was it about? Let me explain. I understand the history of X-Files, and there's always been three main types of episodes. You've got the core storyline episodes, the ones about the alien conspiracy, the random monster of the week episodes, which are normally quite scary. These things like Tombs or Shadows or Too Shy. Then there are the comic episodes, Small Potatoes, that one with the genie, and like Arcadia, but that one was actually quite good. I understand that humour is needed in this universe. It needs to break up the monsters and the aliens and give us a break from all that hard-hitting stuff, but I often found myself skipping over these episodes. I wish I'd skipped this one. This episode, it caused me to physically cringe. With the monster wearing Y-fronts, and Mulder not being able to use his camera phone.
What are you doing? Mulder.
Bear in mind that in the last episode, he stole a smartphone and used it to find evidence, to find clues, but now, apparently, he can't use a simple camera app. Follow that up with an awful sex scene between Scully and the monster.
You're an animal. An animal.
I don't know who this was aimed at or why Gillian Anderson agreed to it. It was just awful in every way. So this episode, it starts with a couple of people getting stoned. I don't know how old they are, but he looks about 40. And this guy was in it before, wasn't he? Twice. They kept using the same word, dude, all the time.
What, am I paint on my face?
Dude.
These adults, they hear some noises in the bushes and are charged at by a lizard man. Finding some dead body and a hurt animal officer in the woods, they say, do some more.
Dude.
And we find Mulder and Scully in the X-Files office. And Mulder is throwing pencils into yet another I Want to Believe poster. Now bear in mind that the first one burnt in the fire. The second poster was taken by Agent Doggett. He rolled it up at the end. And the third one, which somehow mysteriously materialized on the office floor, was kicked and torn by Mulder in the pilot of this series. So this one's new, it seems. And like the movies and the pilot of this series, we get a nice nod back to some of the original episodes with the old pencil throwing. So arriving at a truck stop, Mulder mucks around with his new camera phone, seemingly unable to operate it. Now Mulder's not stupid. He explained wormhole science technology to us in the first episode of this series, if you remember. But now he can't seem to use a smartphone. I mean, I don't understand. So with an animal officer, the guy that they found in the woods earlier, they talked to a woman who had been attacked by the monster. And then they come across the monster running at them in Y-fronts. Mulder, even after everything that he's seen, in the X-Files world, he gets scared and then starts taking loads of random photographs of his face. So the creature is quite obviously seen by Mulder entering a portaloo But when they go to investigate, it's just some guy in there. Mulder believes that this guy, named Guy, is able to transform into a monster and kill people. So he goes and confronts Guy in a graveyard. Guy tries to get Mulder to kill him with a broken bottle. Then he pulls out a second bottle of whiskey from his jacket, and he starts telling Mulder what's going on. It looks like David Duchovny just can't be bothered in this scene. He's just looks bored. So the idea of this episode I quite like. It's like a twist on the classic werewolf story arc. But the lizard creature is living in the woods. He's then attacked and bitten by a man, a human man, the serial killer. This then triggers something that makes him transform from a lizard creature into a human. This premise is good, but the quips and the non-stop self-parody and humour ruined the episode for me. It was just silly. Guy goes ahead and he tells Mulder that when he's human, he has uncontrollable urges.
Hunt. I had to hunt down
A human victim.
No, a job.
Like when a werewolf has to feed on humans or a vampire on blood, he gets urges to get a job or watch porn. This is where he tells Mulder about his sexual encounter with Scully. This is terrible. After this confession, Guy walks off and leaves Mulder alone, who, for absolutely no reason whatsoever, pulls another bottle of whiskey out of his jacket, suggesting that Mulder carries bottles of whiskey with him, meaning that he's maybe an alcoholic now? Anyway, waking up in the graveyard, Mulder gets a phone call. He has the X-Files ring tune on his phone. Which means that the X-Files is a thing in this X-Files universe. So does he watch himself on telly? Are they now famous that way? Or is it to do with a program about two other agents who are investigating the same sort of thing as they do? It makes no sense whatsoever. The animal officer turns out to be the killer anyway. Scully eventually shows her face. She's not in this episode really at all, apart from that sex scene. And she ends up having a fight with the officer, who quickly arrests him. It's then hinted that she is immortal.
Besides, you forget I'm immortal.
A nod to her abduction story in an earlier X-Files series, and that unanswered question on whether she is immortal or not. Apparently, yes. So Mulder finally catches up with Guy. He finds him somehow in the woods, walking along. Guy gets naked. He tells Mulder that he's going to hibernate for 10,000 years. Mulder does not believe him. What is wrong with Mulder in this episode? He's an idiot. All in all, this was an alright episode. I like the idea of the lizard becoming a man. I liked the nods and the Easter eggs and the references to the first series. And I did laugh in parts. But I'm not really a fan of these funny X-Files episodes. Looking forward to next week and hopefully a better episode. Thanks for watching, guys. Click on that like button here on YouTube. Please do subscribe as well to this channel. You can find me at Twitter at Strider Games, and also I'm on Facebook, Facebook/Strider Games. Hope to see you next time, everybody.